So today's episode is a little bit different. Since Mother's Day just passed, we wanted to dedicate this episode to King's mom and have a real conversation about grief, loss, healing, and what it's like carrying that while also being a parent. It's been a while, but this felt very important and very timely. And so we just had to make our comeback be something a little bit different than what we've done so far, while still very important to our topic. With that being said, my name is AK and I'm your host,
And I'm King.
my co host, and welcome back to another episode of Parenthood Unscripted. So, as I was saying, this episode is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit more interview style rather than what we would normally do, which is like the back and forth. There will still be interaction, but I wrote down some things and we're just going to jump right into this. So, my first question for you is, what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of your mom?
The first thing,
Yeah.
I would say her bandana.
Mm-hmm.
She would like to wear her bandana every day, everywhere, anywhere.
Right.
You'd see her and she has her bandana. So like just thinking of her, um I just see her bandana.
Yeah. Anytime like you see a bandana on the road, like that reminds you of her.
Yeah.
Okay. How would you describe her to someone who has never met her before?
Um she's basically a caring and loving and funny,
Yeah.
but she'll um she'll tell you about yourself.
She's honest.
She's honest. That's what.
Yeah, she definitely would tell you like straight up how she's feeling.
Yeah, she'll be straight up. Like she won't even keep it in. She won't sugarcoat it.
No.
She'll just say it to your face. Won't even behind your back. Just straight to your face.
Well, we love honesty. So my next question is, what kind of mom was she?
She was a chill mom, but she was also protective because, like, for example, she didn't want me to get my driver's license
Mm-hmm.
just because she knows how the world is. She knows no one knows how to drive, and she was protecting me because I'm her, basically one of her babies. So she was protecting me and just saying like you still have time to get
Right.
your license. And
No need to rush.
this was when I was like 18. I had my G1 at the time. That's it.
Okay, so chill, protective, just normal motherly instincts.
Mm-hmm.
And what's one memory of her that instantly makes you smile? One memory that pops in your brain and like you think back and you smile about it now. Maybe you weren't smiling back then, but but now looking back you can smile.
I would say the moment when basically I got suspended from school. It wasn't a fun time, but I got suspended because something happened at school, and she came and she basically told like the teachers like Kingsley won't do such a thing like what I did, right? Because whatever happened was just, yeah, that's another
That's a
topic.
topic for another
But
day.
she basically had my back. So, like she had my back and she was just telling everyone like he would never do such a thing, right? So it just makes me smile and just makes me like think that okay, like my mom always had my back regardless.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's one memory. Another moment that made me smile was when she was teaching me how to drive,
Mhm.
because she was not trying to make me get my license,
Mhm.
but she also um
Still supportive.
still supported regardless.
Regardless.
She still supported me even though she did not want me to get my license. She supported me and she made me drive around, and like that's another memory that's, it just makes you smile. And then another memory was when she was driving the pickup truck.
with me.
Yeah, like that's a fun memory.
She
And
was cussing me off because that pickup truck needed work.
yeah,
And she was like, why you have my son driving this buck up pickup truck?
yeah, like it was crazy. But those are some memories that keeps me smiling,
Mhm.
keeps me saying that okay, she was still a good person.
Okay, well, those are just, just getting into the backstory of who your mom was to you. And I guess what we could say, what comes to mind when you think of her. So that is about your mom. So now we're going to move into segment 2, which is titled The Loss. When you're ready, if you take a moment, can you please tell me the story of what happened?
Hmm. Okay, so basically, well, it was 4 years ago, basically, February 8th, 2022. Um, I was with you, right? Yeah, I was
Mhm.
with you. I think you picked me up from work. I was at work, right?
Yeah, I think I picked you up from work
No, actually, I'll start from like the beginning.
before.
Before that, I'll start. So February 8th, 2022, morning. I'm gonna say like 6 a.m. or something like that. My mom dropped me to work that day in the morning, right? She dropped me off in the morning to work. And then at like 3 or 3:30, you came to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to go get Jennifer
Mm-hmm.
because Jennifer said she had an interview.
Mm-hmm.
So then we went to the place that she had an interview at. Apparently there was no interview. I don't know what happened. But then we started driving home. Once we got on the street, we saw paramedics, fire, and police.
And I'm not to butt him in, but I want to set the tone for this because I think these details are also important. I also want to interject in there. After picking him up from work, there was a few delays when we were going to pick up his sister. So there was a little bit of delays like on the road. I think there was traffic and we kind of were rushing to get her so that she could get to her interview on time.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got to the interview, finding out she did not have an interview, we also delayed a little bit there
Yeah, with no gas.
at the location.
Yeah, no gas.
Yeah. We also had a little bit of a delay there,
Uh,
which prevented us from leaving the interview to go back to his house.
yeah,
So I just want to put that piece in there because I do feel like every part of the story is really important. So continue.
but yeah, basically, instead of driving home, we saw fire, paramedics, police. They were basically in front of our house. When you see all those first responders at a house, your mind just goes some next place, right? So we went. Um, Basically, people were saying that my mom was inside the ambulance and they were like working on her, right? So they were working on her. Um, you know, very emotional because everyone is just like, it's random. It's not even like she was sick or anything. She was, to our knowledge, she was fine, right? She was fine. She did not have any illness that we were aware of. She wasn't having any medication, nothing like that. She was fine to us. But so basically, they took her to the hospital because they're like, oh, they have to like go and
Further assess.
further assess her, basically. And then they said they maybe like 2 3 hours later, we just got the news that she passed. It was due to heart failure. So it's emotional because at that time I was 19, like when she passed. Sisters were under age of 18, so it's hard, and then you know working working and trying to figure out how to move forward when that's your only parent, because dad had also passed in 2011. So she was our only parent from 2011 until 2022, right? So it's hard to navigate life um without parents, right? We knew that she was our parent. We knew that she was always there for us, right? So it's hard. It was hard after that day, planning out the details for her funeral, um, just planning out certain things. Life just hit us hard those times.
Right.
So basically, yeah, like that was the story of like what had occurred. She had heart failure, and then we figured out later that she did have diabetes, but we were not aware of that. She did not speak up about it to us, and she was also, a smoker, so
Mm-hmm.
that also affected her lifestyle, and then also what she was eating.
If you're comfortable getting into it, when we arrived at your house, like where did they say that she was when we first arrived at the house?
She was in the ambulance.
Like
Oh,
when they found her,
oh,
like what
oh.
even?
So basically, before anything and all this stuff happened, so my mom, she had her car. It was getting repaired. I think like Friday or Saturday, or Friday, and then she got it back on Tuesday, which was the 8th of February. She got it back that day. She drove home from the mechanic, I guess. And then she was in her car. Um, and then my mom's boyfriend at the time, he came outside and found her unconscious. Um, then that's when
Your sisters, I
sisters
believe.
also came out. I
Which,
think one of my sisters was
yeah,
home, or two.
I
No,
think I
one.
think two of them.
I think both of them were home. Two of them were home, and one of my other sisters was with us. And yeah, so they basically found her unconscious, and they then
Called
called
911.
911 about whatever had occurred. But yeah,
And so when you arrived now, seeing, as you said, seeing the ambulance, seeing all of that, what did it feel like emotionally at first? Like, did you even have an idea in your head, like, what was even happening at the moment? Did you just think, like, like someone was sick? Were you thinking, like, this is what is about to occur?
to be honest, no. But my heart was racing. I was just like, oh, okay, someone is here now. Like, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And first, personally, I thought it was my mom's boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I
Like your
thought.
mind went somewhere else.
Yeah, it went somewhere else. But then they informed me who it was, and it's like, yeah, that was not the person.
Right. Even I can say, like, when you're, as he said, like when you're coming to a street and you see like action going on, police, paramedics, firefighters, like everything, you're not thinking that they're at your house. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
pulling in, your mind is just still calm, but as you get closer in and you kind of realize like they're in front of my house, it starts to sink in a little bit deeper. At that moment, he was driving, so when we pulled closer to the house, we couldn't get too close because I think they had like a car that, or the paramedics or something was like kind of
I
in the
think the
way.
fire truck was in the way.
Right. So as we were pulling closer, one of the neighbors came and saw that it was us because they recognized the vehicle and came up to us and was like, kind of saying like, "Oh, your mom! Like something happened to your mom." So he jumps out of the car. His sister jumps out of the car, and I hop into the driver's seat so I could like park the car. And then when I park and I hop out as well, like his other sister that was there runs up to me and is like just crying, crying, crying. In that moment, it's like so many emotions are going on. You have no idea, like, really what you're really walking into. And so I just want to touch on the feeling. Like, at first, once all of that happened, and I guess they kind of told us that they were going to take her in the ambulance. I don't, it feels like 2 3 hours. It honestly felt faster to me. Like, I don't even feel like it was 2 3 hours after they left. I remember being in the living room. A few of us were all in the living room gathered, and that's when like the police or constable, someone came to give us the news that she never made it. Like, that is when everything like kicks in that moment. Did it feel real? Like, how did it feel in that moment when the news was told to you?
Just felt like a dream.
Right.
Basically, it felt like I was dreaming and I wanted to wake up
Right.
because it's like, it's your parent. When you're like growing up, you don't expect your parents are gonna die before you're a grown up,
Right.
or before you're an adult, where you're also doing your own adult things.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
But growing up, as I said, my dad had also passed when I was 10. So that was very well, I was almost 10. He died like a couple months before I was 10, so I was 9. That hit hard. That hit for me cuz as a son, you
Mm-hmm.
want to grow up with your father, you want to play sports, and you want to
Mm-hmm.
be there with your dad, right? You also want to be there for your mom, but like as a kid, as a boy child, you always like I was the only boy child in my family,
Like
right?
around there. Yeah.
And I always wanted to be like, okay, yeah, like I can play soccer with my dad, or I can go play basketball with my dad. You know, all that came to a realization after
Mm-hmm.
he passed.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a mother is that person that gives you emotional support, always there for you, and like you don't, as I said, you don't expect anyone, especially your mom, to die early at the
Mm-hmm.
age that she had died, right?
Right.
But it just felt like a dream, felt like a movie. I didn't think I was on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought I was somewhere dreaming about it, and then
Mm-hmm.
someone was gonna wake me up. But it hit once her funeral came.
Right. So, what was the hardest part of those first few weeks
Hardest
after she
part,
passed?
hardest part was thinking where she was. That was the hardest part. Trying to figure out if she's actually
Gone.
if she's actually gone or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those were the hardest weeks because you just didn't um you don't see her, right? So like you don't know if she's in the hospital, or you don't know where she is, right?
Right, because speaking again, you were in that household the second oldest sibling
Second
at
notice,
that
yeah.
time, second oldest sibling, and therefore now what makes her loss even harder than maybe like when your dad passed or just other situations? What made it harder now? Because she passed, and
When
then
you're
what? You started planning the funeral, right? Like, everybody started
yeah,
putting in
yeah, yeah,
ideas and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
for the funeral.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, you being the second oldest sibling, what what now has changed for you? Because you're the second oldest sibling. Yeah, your siblings are kind of close to you in age, but what tasks now and responsibilities now do you have
Well,
that makes
bills,
life even harder?
well, bills, and like taking care of um like certain things in the house. You
Right.
know,
So you
like
basically, I would, if I'm understanding, you basically now are forced to grow up because even though you are
technically,
19, even though you're 19, you were living under her roof. She was basically taking care of you aside from you going to work and, having a small income coming in. You were still being taken care of.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So now that she passes away and you have three younger siblings behind you, what now are you doing that makes life become even harder for you?
Well, you got to make sure that they're also safe and they're also taken care of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even though they're at a certain age where they were at the time, they still need a guardian. They still need someone to take care of them. Because yeah, you're an adult once you touch 18. Cuz one of my sisters was already 18 and I was turning 20. Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna turn 20
20 in
in
like
that same month.
a week or after she died.
Yeah.
Um and then my other sister was, I would say she was 17,
Mm-hmm.
and then my other was she said, yeah, she was 17, and then my other sister was
15.
15, right? So at that age, you're just like, damn, you got to take care of younger siblings because now both your parents have passed. I'm one of the oldest, so I do have to take charge of something,
Mm-hmm.
right? Either rent or either one of the bills that she was paying, or figure out how we're gonna, you know, um how we're basically going to move forward from this. So I think basically, to your question, just more taking on more responsibility
Right.
once she had passed,
Right.
because life doesn't stop when your parent dies. It doesn't stop
Right.
when anyone dies, to be honest.
Right.
Life
And
keeps
that
going on.
that literally leads to segment number 3, which is grief and fatherhood. How has losing your mom affected the way that you parent now?
Um, I would say I treat life a little bit better, and um, I want my kids to see me grow old.
Mhm.
I don't want to die at a young age. So I make sure I treat them with all the love that I have, because no matter what, you can live long, but life is still short, right?
Mhm.
Today you can be here, tomorrow you're gone.
Right.
So I make sure my kids feel loved. They don't feel like they're um like their father doesn't love them, right?
Mhm.
Because to be honest, growing up, I never had those kind of love from my dad, because he was strict. I'm not that kind of strict like my dad. But I want to show my kids that life is short. Anything can happen, and you just gotta show up for your kids and
Yep.
be there for them, even when life is hard.
Well, another question I have is, what parts of her do you hope our kids carry?
Caring for sure, because I want the care that my mom had to go through my kids as well. I want them to care for people, even though this life is so messed up. I want them to care for other people.
Mhm.
I'm gonna give an example. For example, my mom, was about to marry the man that she was with. She was gonna marry the man she was with, to help him stay in Canada because she has a heart where she wants to help people. Also, she was PSW, so she was helping older folks, um, through life, even with their you know, just different stuff that people have. She was helping them. So I want my kids to feel, I want them to give other people the care and love that my mom was giving to certain people, right? Some people didn't deserve it, but she did. She always made sure that everyone felt loved.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I guess my last question for this segment would be, what does healing look like for you now?
I would say healing is basically keeping someone's memory alive. Um, Try to um, keep the memories that you had with the person. For example, me, it would be my mom and my dad. Even though I was a little bit younger for my dad, still try to keep those memories that you had of them alive,
Mm-hmm.
because that will help you during the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
Healing takes a long time. I'm not gonna say I'm healed, but I'm slowly there. I'm gonna say I'm like 15%, 50% healed.
I don't even know. I don't even know if there's a number though
I don't
that you
even know.
can
Yeah, I
put.
don't even know
Like,
there's a number, but
grief comes and grief goes. Like, it could be, as he said, he used to wear bandanas all the time,
mhm,
and you could literally be on the road and be fine, happy day, and see someone in a bandana, and all of a sudden grief comes.
it just hits.
You could be passing a store that she used to love to shop at, and all of a sudden you're thinking of all the memories that that you have with her going to that store.
Mhm.
Grief is not something where it's a straight line. You're gonna start one day grieving and stop grieving one day. It's gonna be zigzags, up, downs, like in, out, left, right. There's no direct path for one person. Everybody's grief is different.
And I'm not gonna say that I'm the only person that's dealing with grief.
No,
Everyone has grief. You have
everyone.
grief. I have grief. All of you guys watching have grief
Mhm.
because it's not just one person in the world.
Mhm.
Everyone has family. Everyone has bigger families, and
Mhm.
they all you have to do is just keep their memory alive. She's gone. She's her soul's resting, and she lived a life, even though it was short. I wouldn't say short, but it wasn't like, oh, like she's in her like 70s or 80s. She was, when she passed, she was 50.
Mhm.
So she did live life, but she didn't get to experience more of life, you know?
Mhm.
And we only live one life, and that's why everyone says just live your life, carefree, don't worry about what others think.
Mhm.
Just live life, because if you don't, and then once you die and you didn't do certain things, you might not know that, but you'll regret it regardless.
Yeah.
Because let's say you wanted to make sure that your family is good and your family is safe, but you didn't achieve that goal before you died,
Mhm.
or you wanted to do something on your bucket list
Mhm.
and you didn't.
Mhm.
You're not gonna know these stuff, but the people living will know
No.
those stuff.
Right.
The people living, they'll be like, oh, he didn't get to do this or she didn't get to do
Right.
that,
Right.
you know? But just live your life, live life to the fullest. If you want to go into the CN Tower and do the skywalk, do it.
Mhm.
Because
One life to live.
One life to live, and if that's on your bucket list, go check it off. Or if you want to travel, just travel. Don't like say, life is lifing. Everyone has bills. I'm not going to say no one has bills. Everyone has bills, but you still have to enjoy life. Enjoy life. Check off stuff that's off your bucket list.
Yeah.
Go on vacations, go on trips, but also make sure you're loving your loved ones around you, because once you're gone, you're gone.
Yep.
And once you're alive, your brain is functioning, your heart is functioning, your lungs are functioning, your liver, all these stuff connected, it's functioning. So while it's functioning, you got breath in your lungs, you got air. So might as well just go to someone and one of your family members squash the beef,
Hmm.
squash whatever you guys have with anyone, and just say, life is short. I don't want to be mad at you, because you could be mad at me today and tomorrow you want to apologize, but I'm not here.
Hmm.
So live your life, and also make sure you're giving time to your loved ones, because that time you might not get back.
And that is the perfect tone to end off this podcast episode on. I know it was a little bit quick, and we also usually end with a game, but it just doesn't feel fitting for this episode. So, with that being said, for anyone out there that is grieving the loss of someone, and is going through this pain that is just hard to describe and hard to even put into words, remember that there's going to be rough days and there's going to be better days. Grief comes and it goes. There's no straight line. And honestly, as we said, because Mother's Day just passed, this just felt very fitting for this week's topic. Um, I want to shout out my husband because no matter what he goes through, he still puts on a strong face. And as much as it's hard to talk about these things, I just always want to encourage him to still feel what he feels. Never just force yourself to not grieve just to make someone comfortable. Like, you need to be able to express yourself and to feel every single emotion. So big ups to him because he really articulated this, and when we were even talking about if this was a topic that we should talk about, he was willing and ready. And I just want to say, like, you know, he really deserves his flowers right now. So on that note,
But wait, you also have to shout out to all the moms for Mother's Day. Shout out to my wife for being a wonderful mother to our two kids. Shout out to my mother in law for being a great grandmother, mother in law, and a mother. Shout out to everyone that's being a mother,
mhm,
single mothers out there. I give you guys salute.
mhm,
You guys are the brave ones, because my mom did it
mhm,
after my dad died. She did it, and I salute her,
mhm.
because it's a hard job to be a
True.
mother. People might not think that it's not a hard job, but it's a very hard job. That's a harder job compared to the jobs that we go out and work, because they're doing it every single day. They don't have a day off unless someone is watching the kids. Then they at least have some day off, but they're also still thinking about their kids. So, as I said, shout out to all the moms out there. I know it's not Mother's Day right now, but all the
Still the
mothers,
month of Mother Day.
still the month of Mother's Day. soon, which is next month, Father's
Day is
Day.
around the corner.
So
So
next is
maybe
my
we'll
day.
talk about
Maybe
relationships with
we'll
fathers.
talk about relationship with fathers,
Who
right?
knows?
But
Y'all gotta stay tuned for
you
that one.
guys better stay tuned because
Right.
Mother's Day, Father's Day, then we get into summer. Summer is the best time of Canada. In Canada, Ontario, Toronto, wherever you guys want to say. Summer gets hot. You get to do certain things. Not like winter where you're stuck inside your home. Feels like depressed season. Those times. Still feels a little bit
cold
depressed.
winter blues.
But as I said, shout out to all the mothers and thank you. Keep doing you guys' thing.
Well, remember, hit that like button, comment.
And you guys better subscribe as well.
Subscribe to our channel.
Yes, sir.
And we love you guys forever. Remember, you're here, you're alive, you're breathing. One thing that is guaranteed in life is death. So make sure you make the best of this life while you're living, while your heart's beating, because you only got one life to live.
One life. It's not goodbye. It's see you later.
All right. Peace and love. And we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Yes, sir.
Bye.